we're going to pass the turn, and our opponent is very politely going to cast us a nice juicy Emrakul, and we're going to get an Emrakul. Or maybe a Nulamog. Maybe a Kozilek. Who knows? Come on. Look at all that juicy mana. Hey, what is up guys? Welcome back to another video. My name is Smurfy, and welcome to Modern Horizons 3 Modern on Modo. It's a bit of a wild west out here, and today we're going to be playing what else other than Zoo. I've got so many decks lined up, not just Zoo, all sorts of brews, so check out the other videos if you want to see other random decks. Today we're playing a bit of a wild one actually. So we're playing Zoo, Burn, Flare of Duplication shenanigans. I absolutely love this new card. Flare of Duplication, sack a red dude, copy an instant or sorcery. Well, one of my favorite cards in the format is Tribal Flames. 2 mana, deal 5 to wherever you want. Well, 2 mana, deal 5, 2 mana, deal 10. That seems pretty sweet. So what we've done is we've got the Zoo shell and we've tweaked it, made it a little bit more aggressive and added a bunch of red cards. And that's what we're playing today. So what have we actually done? We've added some of the best 1-drops in the format. Goblin Guide, Ragavan, and Swiftspear with Bolt and Nakatl. And then our curve, which goes up to 2, that is basically our curve, is Territorial Karvu and Sign of Draco as the creatures. Basically just the best creatures for 2 and 1 mana. 4 Tribal Flames because it deals 5 damage. And then to round out the burn, we're playing 3 Boros Charm. 4 damage to your opponent's face is very good. Sometimes you can give a Karvu double strike and get an extra 1 damage out of it. Sometimes it stops a Supreme Verdict or something like that. But the real aim is to deal 4 damage and copy it with the Flare. So you can very easily get turn 3 kills with this deck. Very easily get turn 3 kills. As long as you play like a Karvu or a Draco on turn 2, and then you just go Tribal Flames turn 3, that's 10, 15 damage alone. Yeah, that is the deck. You miss out on all of the interactions. So we haven't got Leyline Binding, we haven't got Stubborn Denial, but instead we're just going to hope that our opponent dies so quickly that it doesn't matter. I'll show you guys to the sideboard as well. If you haven't seen the Mardu deck running around, it is a really consistent combo deck from the new set. Mardu is a 3-drop that basically lets you draw your whole deck, but when you draw your cards, if it's a land, it goes into play. So we are playing Tunnel Ignis, and that is my attempt at stopping the Mardu deck. It also works really well against Amulet. If you're not familiar with it, it's a 2 mana 2/1. Whenever a land comes into play under your opponent's control, if it's not their first land drop this turn, they take 3 damage. So if you're playing against Amulet and they go like, I don't know, land drop, Arboreal Grazer, play another land, they take 3. They then cast a Primeval Titan, go get 2 lands, take another 3, and then another 3 because they got 2 more lands from Prime Time. Yeah, the damage stacks up. If you don't want to lose to Amulet, Tunnel Ignis is actually a pretty good way to go. Other than that, for Leyline Binding, if we're going to play any hate in our sideboard, well, Leyline Binding is just like the best removal for artifacts, enchantments, creatures, planeswalkers. It doesn't matter. Leyline Binding is just one of the best cards. So if we're not going to main deck it, we'll at least sideboard it. 2 Legion's End. This is for things like Yawgmoth, the Mirror, basically any creature deck. Legion's End is pretty good. 4 Dampening Sphere, Tron and Eldrazi Tron and Eldrazi Shenanigans. They all make a bunch of mana, and the other best deck at the moment seems to be Mono Red Storm. So if everyone's storming off, Dampening Sphere is a good card to stop that. And then we had one spot left over, and I cannot resist this card. It seems absolutely sweet. So it's blue, red for a counter a spell, but flip a coin. If you win the flip, you don't counter it, you just gain control of it. So your opponent goes turn 4 ring, maybe you counter it, maybe you get your own ring, who knows. I think that's really fun, and I can't really resist trying one out. And just to give you guys a little bit of a spoiler, we do get to cast this in this league. So if you want to see this card played, stay tuned because it is in this game, in the gameplay. Other than that, I think that's about it. If you want to see more decks in Modern, particularly with random brews, I don't think anyone else has played this list that I'm showing. I'm trying to play decks that aren't the go-to, so like the red-white aggro energy deck. There's going to be 1,000 of those videos. I'm trying to play random other decks. So as you'll see, like I played a Demigod of Revenge deck, I think like 2 days ago. That's up on my channel already. I'm trying to give you guys content that isn't available on other channels because there's already videos for most decks or all the big decks. So yeah, that is the deck. That is the sideboard. Thanks for watching, guys. If you enjoyed the content, make sure to subscribe. And let's get into round one. All right, round one. We definitely want to go on the play. What do we got? Oh, this hand is gas. Let's go ahead and keep. So I guess we lead off with the Ragavan, just on the off chance that it actually hits our opponent. Or are you supposed to just go ham with the Nakato? No, we can't do the Nakato because then we can't double spell. So let's go Breeding Pool. No. Steam Vents. I guess we go Sacred Foundry, Breeding Pool. Yeah, that'll do. Yeah, you can't really go turn 1 Wild Nakato if you then can only cast one of these after on turn 2, right? Because we don't have a Stomping Ground. Opponent leads up with a Saga. Okay, that's quite slow. So unless it's Amulet, then Amulet can be pretty quick. That can be like a turn 3 kill. All right, what do we got? Let's go. It's a shame we don't have an Overgrown Tomb. That would have been fantastic here. What are we missing? Green and black, but we can't do that. We can take a turn. No, we can't. All right, well, I guess we're going Breeding Pool and we'll shock. Let's get our Goblin Guide in and start swinging. Amulet of Vigor off the top. Okay, so we are against Amulet. Hit our opponent for 4. And we get their Amulet, and I guess we just go Wild Nakato and pass, and we don't have Domain, so we can't Draco. But we've got an awful lot of power on board, so that's pretty good. Mycosynth Gardens. Okay, this is very scary because this is the way they get turn 3 kills. And we just get a forest. 1, 2, 3, 4, 7. What are we going to do? Play a forest and hardcast the Draco? That doesn't seem great. We'll see what happens. Talaria West off the top. So opponent draws that, and then what do we get from Ragavan? Saga, sure. I guess we just play the Draco for 4 mana. That seems the best option. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Really punished that we didn't have access to a black mana source, but that's okay. Opponent's going to float the mana. Then I assume use the Mycosynth Gardens to copy. We are threatening lethal, so regardless of if they think we've got interaction, they're going to have to go for it here. All right, how many Arboreal Grazers and Dryads have you got, opponent? Or Explores? They're going to need at least one Explore or Dryad Arbor, I think. Summoner's Pact, okay. What are you going for, opponent? Like, you've got to have the turn 3 or you're just dead, right? So the fact that they're taking a while is really, really good, I think, for us, because it means they're trying to figure out a win. And yeah, that means it's not obvious. So that's good for us. Maybe they don't have the turn 3. Double Amulet of Vigor is super strong, but sometimes they need that extra turn. They really need an Explorer, a Dryad. Sorry, not a Dryad, a Arboreal Grazer to get the extra land drop in to net them in the extra 2 to go from 4 to 6. Or 4 to 7, depending on what they've got. What does Amulet get from the new set? So there is a cycle of them, actually. I have one of them right in front of me. Okay, they've gone for the Grazer. Where are they? They're going to Summoner's Pact again? Oh my god. All right, let me see what this card is. So there are these new cards that are lands on one side. but they're creatures on the other. Here is an example of one. What's it called? Yeah, we're just going to leave our opponents do what they want. It's called Bridgeworks Battle. Let me just show that to the screen. So it's a spell on one side and then a essentially like an expensive pain land on the other side. But there is creature versions of these, and one of them is green. So I think there's actually an upgrade for Amulet to get that land, because you can then summon this pack for a forest. Well, it's not technically a forest, but it's a land that comes into play tapped, and it can come into play untapped. So it's a lot of versatility. And it looks like the opponent is playing the new Spring Heart as well. So if you are not familiar with Spring Heart, it essentially just makes you have infinite land drops with Grazer, but it costs the same amount of mana. Okay, our opponent's just popped off here. So it's 2 mana to bestow on a creature. And then you basically, so this, if you're not familiar with bestow, I know that's quite a reasonably old mechanic at this point. You can use this as a creature, or you can use this as an enchantment. If you pay the green and a colorless bestow, you stick it on a dude, and then every time a land comes into play, you can pay 2 mana, and if you do, you make a copy of that creature that you've enchanted. So if they have an Arboreal Grazer, it makes unlimited mana, because you copy the Arboreal Grazer, trigger, you put 2 lands, you put a land into play. That land comes into play and untaps twice because of Vigor, so it nets you 4 mana, but you only have to pay 2 to make the token. So you make infinite mana with 2 Amulets of Vigor. Or if you've only got 1 amulet, you just make infinite Grazers, which is fine too, I guess. Pretty good against us. So it looks like our opponent knows what they're doing. They can just go, I think they can just go infinite here. So they just go get another prime time. And unless they've drawn the haste land, then we should be fine. Oh, they've gone for a Dryad route instead. Oh, okay. And now they're going to make infinite mana. Well, technically not infinite, but enough to kill us. We'll let them do their thing just so you guys can see how all the new shenanigans works. So you pay 2 mana and you make a copy. Oh, there's another prime time. Then the prime time ETB trigger happens. They're going to get 2 lands, which is going to trigger this, so they can make 2 more prime times. And then eventually they'll give them all haste, or they can just go get enough Valakuts and kill us. But yeah, that is the combo. So now that you've seen it, I think we can pretty safely concede. This is going to take a while for our opponent, so let's not waste either of our time. Alright, so against Amulet, I think we want the tunnels, right? Whenever a land comes into play under your opponent's control, if they've already played a land for turn, they take 3. That seems pretty nice. I think we want Leyline Bindings as well. And I think we want Invert Polarity. And we probably want some Dampening Spheres as well. This is a lot of sideboarding, so let's figure out what we can cut. Borisham is just not really doing it. Or the Flare. And Bolt also doesn't really interact with their deck. I guess it now does a little bit because they can stick the Bestow creature on their Arboreal Grazer and we can then bolt it in response. But the Bestow does give +1/+1. So if you miss your chance, it doesn't work. And yeah, we've got to bring in the Polarity. Surely we bring in the Polarity, right? Choose target spell, flip a coin. If you win the flip, you get it. If you lose the flip, counter the spell. It's got to be done. We have no choice. Our hands are tied. I don't think we need the full 4 against Amulet. Maybe just 2. No, we'll go with the 3rd and we'll cut a Tribal Flames maybe. That does slow us down a lot. We'll cut Draco. We've brought in more dudes. We definitely want to go first. What do we got? Alright, this is an aggro hand. We'll go ahead and keep. Let's lead off with a Sacred Foundry. And into a Goblin Guide. Unfortunately, our opponent is playing like 33 or 35 lands or something. So it's very likely that they're going to be able to... very likely they're able to draw cards from the Goblin Guide. It's been a while since I've played Goblin Guide, and I did not realize how much I'd missed it. Love this guy. Alright, so I guess we just go Foothills. Do we just get rid of the Amulet? So we'll go Breeding Pool. And yeah, I kind of just want to get rid of this Amulet. The other option is to play the Kavu. Let's see what's on top of that deck. That shouldn't change too much of what we do, but it's good to know. A Growth Chamber, okay. This might be a little bit overly cautious, but we're just going to Binding their Amulet now. Because their deck is very, very slow without it. Like, we could play the Kavu. I don't think that would be a bad play either. I'll land off the top and we can start putting a lot of pressure on board. So hopefully our opponent doesn't have too much to do here. Oh, they've got another Amulet. Okay. Well, I'm very glad that we got rid of the first one then, because with 2 and we know they have a bounce land, it's very, very easy for them to go off. A third Amulet? That's absolutely wild. Yeah, we are probably just dead here, but we'll add as much power as we can to the board, which is currently 5. See what we get from Goblin Guide. A Gruul Turf, and I don't know what the second one was. Is that a Dismember? Okay. So they might be killing one of our Goblin Guides here. When you play against Amulet, when they have the triple Amulet Vigors games, you kind of just have to write them off, unfortunately. So here we go. They're going to go up to 6 mana here. A Prime Time is just lethal here, right? When they have 2 Amulets in play, 1 Prime Time nets them 4 mana, but they can then... There's so many shenanigans that they can do. Okay, Dryad is fine. What are they doing? Getting black? Oh, they're casting Dismember. Wait, so they're not comboing off. They're just casting a Dismember? That's very, very good news. Oh my god, we have dodged it somehow. I am very surprised at that. So we know they have a Simic Growth Chamber in hand. What are we supposed to do here? Do we just kill this, hit them for 4? Or do we play the Kavu? I think we want to kill this. It does suck to have to use our Tribal Flames on that, but... Seiju and Teleria West. Okay. So that is just game, right? Teleria West. Play the Simic. That makes 4 mana. 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, yeah. So now they can go up enough where they can go Teleria West, go get Summoners Pact, go get Prime Time, and then Prime Time just kills you with 2 of these in play. Amulet never ceases to amaze me by how powerful it is and consistent. So Summoners Pact here. I assume they're going to get Prime Time, unless they want to be super greedy. If they still play Cultivator Colossus, I know most people don't play that anymore. Yeah, sure. So you get your Prime Time. There's the Mirror Ball. Yeah, we've seen enough. Opponent combos off and one-shots us. All good. All right, on the plate again. Let's go. Wow, this hand is aggressive. For Science, I think we keep this. We are missing a black or a blue. I assume that it's correct to go for the Steam Vents. Yeah. So go for Steam Vents and Shock. And cast our Ragavan, see what we can do to our opponent. We only need to do 10 damage, and then this will just finish them off. Opponent leads up with the Arid Mesa. What are they on? Burn, Mono Red Storm. Oh, nice. Okay, maybe the red-white aggro deck. Red-white energy deck is seems pretty good. Are we supposed to shock just so we can Boros Charm? I don't think so. I think we've got a little bit longer than that. Let's just go ahead and play this tapped. I think Aspiring Spike is the person that mostly popularized this deck. He's been pushing for it pretty hard by... he's done loads of content on it. I think he went like 11-0 testing with Young Dingo playing this deck. Oh. I have not seen the black splash. What is the black even for? Another flare. Well, I guess we shock it in, right? Because we can copy their stuff. So they're going to gain a little bit of life from this. Maybe we don't. I don't think we need to copy anything they've got too soon. We're just going to go end of turn Boros Charm them, I think, regardless. Put them to 12. Oh, it's just frustrating they've got this. Put 2 1/1 counters on it and he gains flying. Thank God it doesn't get lifelink. Yep, you got us. Hit us for 1. And they're going to play a dude here. So whenever another creature comes into play, they get 1 energy and they gain 1 life. So this doesn't actually give you any energy straight away. Which I never realized. I assumed it gave you at least like 2. Opponent's gonna Flage. Yeah, Flage us, which deals 3 damage and you gain 3 life. Oh, that's so frustrating. 1, 2, 3, 4 cards in their graveyard. They only need 1 more and they can bring it back. Oh, that's frustrating. Well, we might as well use the Boros Charm. I don't know how we ever get through all of this, though. Okay, so Spear's a good draw. So we can hit our opponent for 4. Sorry. Swing for 1, and then 9 them. And that's not quite enough. And we don't have enough mana to copy it twice. Yeah, we don't have lethal. I think we just have to go for as much damage as we can, which is going to be 1, hit them for 1 down to 12, and then 4 them twice, and then put them to 4. And then if they have a fetch land, they can bring this back, and then it's pretty hard to pull it back, but that looks like the only option we've got. And you have to do it this way where you attack first. You don't get to do all the prowess shenanigans. Wait. How do you hold priority on Modo? There's got to be a button for this. Full text and actions? No. Oh, here we go. Hold priority, control. We're going to make sure we keep a hold of that because we do not want to do not want to cast a Tribal Flames and not copy it. Alright, so we have successfully cast 2 of them. As I said, we're going to put our opponent to 4. And that's about as much as we can do. We just have to hope that they can't bring back this Flage this turn. And then if we draw a burn spell, I guess we could get there. Alright, opponent's going to bop us for 1. We really are like racing our opponent's life gain at this point. They've decided to put the counters on, which is quite surprising. Oh, and they're passing. Oh no. Alright, well we've got double Flare of Duplication. Maybe our opponent will cast like a card draw spell or something. And we can just hard cast one. What on earth does the new dog do? Whenever it attacks, exile up to 1 target creature Oh, no. Attacks, exile up to 1 target non-land permanent. Oh, okay. It just flickers stuff. That does not combo with the Flage, because Flage says if it wasn't escaped, right? Yeah, so if you flicker this, it just dies again. And they can now bring... Oh, they hit another one. That's scary. So they're going to gain 3. Yeah, that's pretty good. And they're going to gain another one from the soul. Oh, and then they can... Yeah, that's game. Because they can just swing, flicker it, and just deal us another 3. Okay, so what do we want against this deck? Is Polarity good? I mean, stealing their escape dude is nice, but I don't think you cast it when you flash it back, do you? I don't know that interaction, actually. That's interesting. They're not doing anything with their lands. I guess Leyline Binding could be fine, but I don't think that's what we want to do. Nah, screw it. Let's just run it back. We definitely want to go on the play. Nope, that doesn't do much. Okay, we can work with this. Put back one of the lands. So stick back a Foothills. Let's go fetch. We want to go for Steam Vents and cast Ragavan. So we don't want to do the red white into Breeding Pool. So Sacred Foundry Breeding Pool is normally the default for Zoo, but because we're playing Boros Charm in our deck, Sacred Foundry sucks for casting a Boros Charm. So, or should I say the Breeding Pool sucks. The Boros Charm is fantastic. But if you're going for Domain, you don't want the two colors on the same land. That's why you don't play Stomping Ground in a Zoo deck. Or in a Kavu deck, should I say. Okay, that's a good draw. Let's just play a land, and are we going to play Magical Christmas Land and see if the Ragavan survives? Because if it survives and hits them, then we want to cast one of these now. But that's so unlikely. I think we're just going to swing and wait for it to die. Oh, it actually hit. That sucks for us. We hit a Sacred Foundry. Main phase 2, let's just go fetch. Temple Garden. We will shock. Let's go red-green for a Kavu. So pretty quick start. This is what I said, right? Like, had we have known it was going to survive, I would have rather just played Goblin Guide pre-combat. But it's so unlikely that the Ragavan was going to live there, I think. They've got 4 of the new Discharge card, and I assume they're playing some like Lightning Bolts or something. The risk is, if we had cast the Goblin Guide pre-combat, things could have gone horribly wrong. Okay, so let's just go Goblin Guide. And I guess we just play the Swift Spear as well. And wait, can we kill our opponent this turn? Let's get rid of their graveyard. Our hand is great, right? If we get a treasure token from the Ragavan, then we can just kill them, I think. What do they got? Oh no! That's like the worst case scenario. So they can now kill the Ragavan. Oh, that sucks. And they can chump the Kavu. Well, I'm very glad that we chose not to draw with this then, because that would have been even worse. Alright, well, I guess we just pass. We can deal them 8 with our burn in hand next turn. Hopefully we can get access to a black source at some point, and then just it goes up to 10. And our Kavu becomes bigger as well. Yeah, Bowmaster seems a bit weird in this deck. I mean, it is just one of the best cards in Modern, so it's not outlandish to just stick it in pretty much any deck. They're just going to cast the Flage here. 3 mana Lightning Helix. Not that bad. And they go for the Swift Spear. That's interesting. Maybe they want us to hit the land drops for them. And we get Ragavan. I guess we just swing with everything. There's no point in casting this right now because they'll just trade with the Bowmaster. So if we attack first and we exile the Flage, again we can't draw because of the Bowmasters. Oh, they've got Solitude as well. Maybe this isn't the red-white energy deck. It doesn't seem to be an energy deck. Maybe it just plays the Discharge because it's an efficient card. Ephemerate off the top. And anything else? I guess we can play the Ragavan. Sure. I can't see it hurting that much. Oh, they can ephemerate the Bowmaster, I guess. But I think if they're ephemerating Bowmaster and not Solitude, we're probably fine with that. Opponent goes for the Thoughtseize. The gonna see, yeah, that makes sense. All right, they just pass the turn back to us, keeping up Ephemerate. What's going to happen? They're going to flicker this, ping this, block here. If that's what they're going to do, there's not really anything we can do to stop it. Aether Hub goes to hand for our opponent. Oh, they've actually just got another Bowmaster. Ooh, that's rough. Yeah, so finish off the Ragavan. And they choose to trade. That's fair. Well, there's not really much we can do, so we just pass the turn here. Opponent just going to whack us for one. Sure. Looks like they're... Yeah, they definitely have some energy going on if they're playing Aether Hub as well. Whatever they have... Oh, they've got Ephemera. There's nothing we can do, is there? 1, 2, 3. They're going to go to 4 cards. 5 if they Ephemerate. Then the Flage is back. Yeah, there's literally nothing we can do. This is... Without playing the counter magic in this deck, it feels so flimsy. We're definitely playing too many flares as well. 4 is not the correct amount. I wanted to try the card out, and I'd rather just draw it more often, so then you can try it more. But yeah, this is not going so great. That's okay. We're going to remain optimistic. We've always got 3 more rounds to go. All right, round 3. What do we got? Yeah, we can't keep this. Let's go send that one back. Yeah, sure. We'll go ahead and keep. And we'll put back the... Is it the breeding pool? What we're going to go for? Yeah, the breeding pool. Because we've got the Boros Sham, we don't want breeding pool. Very burn heavy hand. Oh, is this... Are we against burn? If we're playing against burn with Fiery Islet in the deck, this could be an interesting game. So we lead off with a Steam Vents. Wait, if we are against burn, it could just be Storm, right? Okay. Oh. Okay, I have no idea what we're against then. Otherworldly Gaze? Is this Blue-Red Phoenix? Prized Amalgam, Tome Scour, Tomb Scour. Tome. Deep Analysis. Sure, okay, so I guess we're against Dredge. That clears things up a little bit. Really nice to see the Pain land in there under their control, though. That's really good for us. So Steam Vents, Shock, and Goblin Guide. Opponent bins them all, and they played a Pain land as their first land, which to me suggests that they don't have many lands in the hand. And the Cephalid, I believe, is also a Pain land. It is. Okay, and they're shocking as well. Oh, this is gas. Opponent is taking all the damage. We don't even need to do anything here. In fact, this hand is so aggressive, we might just go Boros Charm, go for the Sacred Foundry here, because then we can cast Boros Charm and cast multiple spells a turn. We have not drawn the domain half of this deck. Opponent's flashing back Otherworldly Gaze. Sure. Blood Crypt? Yeah, that'll do. So let's go ahead. We'll shock. Cast a Swift Spear. Bolt the opponent. We're just going to play a sorcery speed. Our opponent's tapped out. I don't think there's anything we need to worry about. This whole time I've been trying to get tricksy with the new Flare. Should have just played Mono Red Burn. Or, I guess, Boros Burn. And I also saw that online, I've heard it on some podcasts as well, that the first challenge with the new Modern Horizons 3 set was won by complete stock burn. No new cards, which is absolutely hilarious that the new set comes out. All of these different brews are coming out. People have got like crazy broken lands, Eldrazi, Mono Red Storm, the Mardu broken deck. Tron is going crazy, and someone just won with Burn. Love it. Burn is such a good game, like week one tournament deck, because everyone's trying to do fancy things and you just get them. Oh no, not Creeping Chill. Every Burn player's worst nightmare. 0 mana life gain. Broken. Absolutely broken. So the Amalgams will come back tapped. I believe the Ghouls come back tapped as well. So they block 1. Then they take 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So assuming they don't have removal, this should just be lethal. Oh my god, 1, 2, that's 4 Cephalid Colosseums in the graveyard in a row? That's insane. So let's go ahead and fetch. Get Temple Gardens fine. Oh, they could have a Flare here. They don't have the Flare. Okay, so if you haven't seen, the new Flare is sack a blue dude, counter a spell. So they could have easily had that there. But fortunately for us, they didn't. I guess Legion's End is fine, because it exiles like... actually, no, because it only hits Narcomoeba. Bloodghast can't block anyway. Maybe Legion's End just isn't good enough. I think we just run it back. Kavus are pretty nice because you can start exiling their graveyard, but Dredge is pretty quick these days, so I don't think Kavu's quick enough to slow Dredge down that much. You might get a little bit of value from it, but... What new cards does Dredge have? So obviously it's got the blue Flare, as I mentioned, and there is also a new fairy thing. There's like, if you draw, when you draw your 3rd card for the turn, you can reanimate it, and it's just like a 3-drop blue-black fairy thing. I mean, I guess we keep this. What do we get rid of? Bolt or Wild Nakato? Or Swift Spear, I guess. I think it's going to be Bolt. You're going to have to rely on our creatures to get through quite a bit of this damage. If we're going to go turn 1 Nakato, that does then mean that turn 2 we can't double spell. So that sucks. Stinkweed Imp. Golgari Thug. 2 Golgari Thugs. Okay. Again, another Pain land. Really nice for us to see. Oh, is Ragavan just better than everything else? I think so. So Steam Vents, Shock, Ragavan. If they can't get an Alchemy Room play, then Ragavan's pretty good. If they do, then obviously Ragavan sucks, but is what it is. Dredge's mana base is very similar. Obviously, the colors are different, but very similar to Burn, where it's just fetches, shocks, and a bunch of islets. And then I guess they play Cephalid Colosseum, whereas I probably now Burn plays like at least one Barbarian Ring. I think. I know like an Afari Islet would draw you a card which does more damage on average. Actually, no, it doesn't do more damage on average than 2 from a Barbarian Ring, but yeah, I'm not sure which one is better. Oh, this is looking scary. 2 Narcomoebas? Jesus Christ, that's a lot. Oh, they have gone through half their deck already. And if we kill this, they just bring it back. Oh my god. We literally can't race this. This is turn 2. What are you doing? You got 7 power, and you've drained us, and that's just game, right? Like, there's literally nothing we can do. Even if we had rest in... Why is there 5 prized amalgam triggers? Oh, they trigger each time, do they? Okay, sure. Yeah, even if we had Rest in Peace, which is one of the best sideboard cards, it would have been too slow. Wild. And obviously we're not going to sit here and play this out. Like, that's well and truly over. Yeah, I think we just run it back. This doesn't help. We don't really have much that can help us here. I guess Dredge just has some busted opening hands. No, I think we need to ship this. Ooh, that's a lot of lands, but I don't really want to go to 5. If we had like Rest in Peace in our deck, then I would have mulliganed that because the upside of finding a Rest in Peace would have been so high, but yeah, not with our current sideboard configuration. I didn't think there'd be that much graveyard shenanigans going around. I thought it'd be a little like Tron, Eldrazi, and Storm, but that is not what we faced so far. Let's just lead off with Blood Crypts into Ragavan. We know that we've put a fetch on the bottom of our deck, so like deck thinning by fetching doesn't actually thin our deck because we already know one land is on the bottom, so it would be a parity. Swing our opponent here, see what we get. I can't imagine there's anything good that we could hit. Creeping Chill, maybe. A Gemstone Caverns. Huh. Alright, so I think we just go fetch. I guess we could go Triome and then next turn get Breeding Pool. And then we've got Domain. How badly do we need that extra point? 4, 9, 12. It puts our opponent down to 6. They're going to take at least 2 or 3 more. I think we could probably afford to not use the Tribal Flames for the full 5. No, I think it's fine. We'll wait. And we're just going to pass. So we're just going to go like end of turn Bolt. and then untap, fetch a breeding pool, and then we can use Tribal Flames. Wait, has our opponent just not got another land drop? Surely you don't keep a one land hand. Yeah, they definitely wouldn't have kept a one land hand, right? Because they haven't done anything on their turn 1. So maybe if you had like turn 1 Surveil 3, then I can see keeping a one land hand, because then you've got 4 looks at finding a land, but they're just passing. What's going on? Just bonk our opponent a little bit. And then there's the flare. Wow, okay. Is that just lethal? I believe that is. So hit our opponent for 2. And then we just go Tribal Flames, Tribal Flames, Tribal Flames. Opponent is playing very slowly. I don't know what they could possibly have that way. Like, what are they considering? We can do like Vapor Snag. Dredge doesn't play Vapor Snag. No one plays Vapor Snag now. That's way too in the past. What is that? A Golgari Thug, sure. So yeah, we'll go ahead and fetch here. I can't think of anything we have to play around, but I'm just going to get Breeding Pool and shock it anyway, just in case. So we're going to hold control because I need to keep priority. Copy this, sack this. Same target. Are we just going to get here? There you go. 3 Tribal Flames on turn 3. Gas. I don't know what to say about our opponent. I don't know what they're doing, but 3 Tribal Flames is pretty sweet. Let's go on to the next round. Okay, round 4? Yeah, I think this is round 4. Oh, this hand sucks. I think 1 land too many. Well, we've got turn 1 Breeding Pool, Wild Nakato. Turn 2 play the Triome. Yeah, that's not enough. Now this is a hand. We'll go we'll go ahead and keep. And do we just put Boros Charm or the Flare? The Flare is the safe option. If you put that to the bottom, that's a reasonable thing to do. But I'm going to put Boros Charm, and we're going to try and bamboozle some people. So I guess we go for Steam Vents or Blood Crypt. Doesn't really make a difference. Oh, we're against Tron. Okay, well this is a pretty sweet hand against Tron. Very quick. Let's go fetch. Steam Vents is fine. Unfortunate that we're going to give our opponent some looks at lands. Dismember off the top. They can cast that. That's absolutely fine. If you want to pay 2 life, normally it'd be 4, but they've got the Chromatic Sphere. If they want to do that, I'm fine with that. What are we looking for at this point? Just a fetch land to get Blood Crypt. And I think that's about all we need. Then just a little bit of time. See how much time our opponent can give us. Fortunately, this isn't one of those games where we just lose to like an Ulamog or an Emrakul. I guess Emrakul would be pretty bad because the Flare wouldn't work. Maybe we need to play around that, I'm not sure. There's the Dismember. Okay. Did you just not... Wild that they paid the full life for that. That is crazy. They just really wanted to get the map in play, I guess. What are we doing here? So we shock. I guess we dash the Ragavan. Yeah. Bonk our opponent here for 2. Get a nice little treasure token. Anything spicy off the top? Sadly not. There is no advantage to playing the Swift Spear this turn, so we'll just pass. Okay, Tron assembled. What can you do with 3 mana that we should be scared of? Relic. That doesn't bother us at all. Crack the Relic. Okay, that's just game, right? There's nothing that they could do. I can't think of anything. That's a good draw. So we're missing black, which we can get with this. And then red, wherever it is. Let's go Swift Spear. Wait, that's not lethal, is it? What if we... Oh my god, I screwed up the mana? I'm pretty sure that's 1 damage short. Oh dear. Because this is 5, double it is 10. We put them to 1. Yeah, I needed to get a... Any untapped land would have done it. I just got greedy and wanted the Tribal Flames damage. That's fine. I think our opponent down to 1 is going to be sufficient. Let's hold control. Tribal Flame to the opponent. Copy this. Sack this. Same target. Alright, you're at 1 opponent. What can you do? I guess they could blow up our lands. That'd be pretty bad for us. Yeah, that was horrendous. I completely messed up by getting the wrong land. Sorry, not... Yeah, by getting the wrong land. Because then what we could have done is... we would have 1 extra mana, so we could have like even just dashed Ragavan and then done it after. And we would have been on the same amount of mana. Yeah. Glad I'm not on Twitch right now. Chat would be saying Miss Lethal, Miss Lethal. And a Worm Coil. Okay, well that's good to know. Okay, so we're against Tron, which is not too bad for us as we have 4 Dampening Sphere in our sideboard. And we don't need Tunnel. They're not playing multiple lands a turn. And I think we're going to bring in the Invert as well, just because I think that would be fun. What are we cutting? I guess Bolt is one of our weaker cards against them. And I don't mind cutting a Draco. Yeah, let's give that a go. Obviously, the invert counterspell, I don't actually think is correct to board in, but it's just going to be really fun, right? If you steal your opponent's Emrakul, how can you turn that down? Oh, this is an awkward hand. That's fine, we'll make it work. So we're going to go turn 1 Steam Vents, Goblin Guide. Turn 2 play this and use this. We're just missing green, but our deck is very, very light on the green. It's almost just mono red, a splash a bit here and there. Except the polarity, which needs double blue. We don't need to worry about that. It'll be fine. Oh, does that change things? That kind of does. If we play the Triumph on turn 1, we can go turn 2 Breeding Pool and get the Kavu. And that also means we're closer to casting the Polarity because we'll get Breeding Pool. And then we only need one more blue. Yep. So our opponent can go turn 3, cast a Worm Coil, which is very hard for us to beat unless they cast something bigger after, and that wins us the game. So we have a backup. Even if they have Worm Coil, we can win. It's fine. Yeah, Breeding Pool, Shock, red, green. And we'll play the Kavu and pass the turn. Oh no, don't dismember. Don't dismember. This does get very heavily punished by Dismember, actually. The Goblin Guide into Swiftspear would have been better if we played around Dismember, I guess. Yep. Opponent's just got 3 cards left in hand. They're going to go up to 4 when they crack the sphere. Sorry, not the sphere, the star. But I'm sure they'll have something big to play. Oh, that's not Tron. What are you doing? That's just 3 mana, dude. Huh. In my head, I just assume they have turn 3 Tron, regardless of the situation. I could go turn 1 Stone Rain my opponent in my head. Turn 3, they got Tron. 2 Tunnel Visioned. Well, I think we're just locked in on doing it again anyway. Maybe they have another Dismember, but because this isn't a red land, we can't really cast the rest of our hand efficiently. Crack the sphere. Sorry, not the sphere, the star. Another star, sure. Somehow we've managed to dodge turn 3 Tron and now turn 4 Tron. Wild. And the worst part is we're not even going to kill them quickly. Do we get greedy and just try and find this and just keep it up? Besage you. Oh my god, our opponent is choosing to be a mean person today. I guess we go for Blood Crypt. Or we can go for red-white. I guess red-white because we've got Boros Charm. Or we could go really greedy and take Steam Vents. No, I think Sacred Foundry is fine. Okay, so our opponent is playing a very, very slow Tron deck. Unfortunately, we're playing a very, very slow Zoo deck. Oh my god, we could actually just keep this up for the rest of the game. That could be really fun. Let's go Shock. And red for Goblin Guide. And red for, I guess, Ragavan. We'll swing with both and see what happens. What do we not want here? I guess we can get rid of the Swiftspear. We draw another Goblin Guide, sure. I guess we just go Tribal Flames, put them to 5. Yeah. Oh no, we only got 4. Okay, we'll put them to 6. That's fine still. So they can go crack the map And now they go up to 5 mana. I don't think we're too scared of 5 mana. 5 mana is not Wormcoil mana. Khan, yeah. There's nothing for 1 mana that they can do here. Hey, why am I sure? I stand corrected. Oh my god, we get to live the dream. If we... So, hear me out, right? We have Lethal on board. I'm not disputing that. We dash the Ragavan, we cast a Goblin Guide, we swing, they block this, they take 6, the trigger is still on the stack and they're dead. Or we swing, we kill this, we put them to 6 again, and then we invert polarity. Whatever they go get. What could they go get that we're scared of? I don't know. I want to find out. Let's go. So I know we have Lethal on board, but this is just too much. This is too much to resist. Of course, we needed that extra Ragavan. Alright, so opponent blocks here. They take 2, gain 2. They're still at 4. That's fine. We're going to pass the turn. And our opponent is very politely going to cast us a nice juicy Emrakul. And we're going to get an Emrakul. Or maybe a Ulamog. Maybe a Kozilek. Who knows? Come on. Look at all that juicy mana. That's fine. You can have your cast trigger. Because I'm going to have your Ulamog. 50-50. Let's go heads. Oh, we lost the foot. No regrets. I have 0 regrets right now. So what are they going to do? Tick down, go get Ensnaring Bridge, cast Ensnaring Bridge. It's frozen. Is it frozen? No, they're just thinking. Okay, so I assume they're going to go get Ensnaring Bridge here, and then only Goblin Guide can attack. Oh no, Kavu can attack. It's only a 2/2. So if we draw a fetch, that's actually lethal here. Assuming they get Bridge. Because you can just attack with both, and then after declaring attackers, you can then fetch and Kavu becomes bigger. I'm sorry, but we had to try and get the Ulamog. It was too tasty to resist. Our opponent is deep in the tank. What to get? What to get? I can't think of anything that we're really that worried about. They've got 4 mana. It just depends on if they can survive an extra turn. If they can survive an extra turn, we could be in some serious trouble. I guess the Khan will be dead. So what, do they just high roll it and go for something big? Oh yeah, Trinosphere is pretty good. So a land off the top is going to be our best draw here. A fetch land, should I say? Okay, sweet. That should just be lethal. I'm not even going to do the math. I am just going to assume that is... Wait. Yeah, we're not even going to bother. We're going to find out. We should probably fetch. Oh wait, they didn't even have the Ensnaring Bridge, so we didn't have to do it like that. Blood Crypts. Shock. It literally made it. There was about 1,000 things we could have done more efficiently there. We'll ditch a Ragavan, whatever. Okay, opponent is dead. Sweet. There was 1,000 misplays there, but who cares? So there you have it, guys. Burn Zoo, Flare of Duplication, whatever you want to call it, in Modern. I think the deck could actually be okay. There are definitely some tweaks that need to be done, but I needed to give it a try. I think if anything, maybe Sign of Draco is too clunky in here, and maybe even the Kavu, maybe you just go down to just 1-drops and you just play like literal burn. I'm not really sure. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the content. If you did, make sure to leave a comment or a like or anything like that. I'm a very small YouTuber. If you guys leave a comment, it makes my day. So I would greatly appreciate it. And if you have any suggestions, let me know. You can tweet me. My Twitter is, I don't know, I'll leave it in the description. Or you can just leave a comment. Either way, thanks for watching, guys, and peace.